Can someone please tell Google that we're living in 2018 and not 2015, please? Google just yesterday announced the Google Pixel 3, and among other products we will probably talk about tomorrow, but this video is going to be focused on the Google Pixel 3 and the Google Pixel 3 XL and the atrocity that those two products are. Normally, I'm a fan of the Google Pixel brand. You get that top-rated smartphone camera and you get stock Android, but just every single year, if you don't look at those two categories, Google is slacking. If we take a look at the first generation Google Pixel, that was missing a ton of hardware other than the camera. Like, look at that chin on the bottom. Don't even get me started on that chin. That chin was so bad. And 2 years later, after that first generation disaster, Google still has bezels. They still have a chin. And if you take a look at the Pixel 3 XL, don't get me started on that notch. Right now, there are of course memes online of the Google Pixel 3 XL notch because it is horrendous. That notch just goes so much into the display. It's not as much as the memes, but still, that's terrible. And let me just put it out there, the cheapest Google Pixel 3 starts at $800 and the Pixel XL starts at $900, and it's coming with that notch. You could probably get the OnePlus 6T in like next month for $600, and that's gonna have a water drop notch. What are you doing, Google? What are you doing? And we knew that the Google Pixel 3 XL was gonna have this horrendous screen to body ratio ever since like 4 months ago. I made a video right here about the Pixel 3 is trash because it honestly is when you just consider the notch and the chin. If you want to say to me that the chin is justified because it's containing that 40% boost of the Pixel 3 speaker over the Pixel 2, just a little fact there. But if you're telling me that it's justified because of that, well, it's not true at all. What Google could have done if they wanted to keep the chin on both the 3 and the 3 XL, they just could have made the speaker a slight sliver on the very bottom and just make it edge to edge. Why not, Google? Why not? Everyone was hoping that the Pixel Ultra existed because we all want that perfect flagship hardware. We don't want that ugly notch. Even with Apple's iPhone X notch, which was the first ever notch on any smartphone if you don't consider the Essential phone, it was the first ever notch, and still that is not as bad as this Pixel 3 XL, and Google had a year to change it. Who in the world was at Google's hardware department and was like, oh, we should just put that big fat notch on the smartphone because that will look so nice, just have that huge notch, because everyone loves that, of course, right? No, we do not love it at all. We kind of dislike it. Honestly thought last year with the Pixel 2 XL that Google was on the right track. It was a good iteration after the first generation. It added water resistance, it didn't add wireless charging, but still it had a tiny bezel on the top and a tiny bezel on the bottom. So this year I was thinking, oh, Google's gonna continue to reduce that because that's the trend of 2018. That's what the people want. But no, Google goes in the reverse direction and adds more bezels to the phone, or they keep the exact same bezels. At least the Pixel 3 looks better than the Pixel 2, because the Pixel 2 also had a lot of bezels. Just talking about the screen to body ratio doesn't make the phone worth it to you if you care even a little bit about that, because the OnePlus 6T or even the iPhone XR for $750 is cheaper than this and has a better screen to body ratio. The OLED screens found in the Pixel 3 and Pixel 3 XL are definitely an upgrade over the Pixel 2, but the bezels are kind of worse. And right now I'm just disappointed in Google because they raised the price of the Pixel 3 from $650 to now it's $800. It was in that budget range and now it's at completely flagship range. Come on, Google, come on. I'm going to quickly point out to you right now why Pixel should have just undercut Apple on their pricing. They shouldn't price above. Never price above Apple on their smartphones. That's just a terrible decision. But let's say someone's not as tech savvy as us watching this video right now. They don't really watch tech. They're not really interested in all this tech specs or what the features have. They just want to go in and buy the latest smartphone. The general consumer walks into the Verizon store and they see like a couple new phones out. They see the Note 9, they see the XS Max, and then they see the iPhone XR and the Pixel 3. They're like, oh, these are like $800. I'm gonna pick in between the both of them. Then the general consumer holds the iPhone XR in its hand and it's like, ooh, I like this edge-to-edge display for only $750. That's a good deal, and you get a pretty good camera on the back with portrait mode. I'm into that. And then let's take a look at the Pixel 3. Then the person takes a look at the Pixel 3, not even the Pixel 3 XL, and it's like, why does this have bezels on the top and bottom? Like, why? And yes, the Pixel 3 doesn't have an emoji, or even better, memoji. There is no justifying for Google raising the prices $150. All they added in the Pixel 3 was glass on the back to allow for wireless charging. There's now a second camera on the front so you can allow for a super view, kind of like the LG V40. And other than those two features right there, you just get some software features in the camera with Google's special hardware magic and some AR, and you get the Snapdragon 845, and other than that, there's nothing else. If the Pixel 3 was priced at $600 and came in more than 3 colors other than that not pink, the just white, and the no, it's just black and clearly white, well then it could have some competition for the iPhone XR, but it doesn't. The XR is still going to have that top of the class camera. It's going to have the edge-to-edge display. It's going to have, of course, water resistance, wireless charging, glass on the back, 6 different color options, edge-to-edge display, a lot of features. All of that for $750 plus the Apple ecosystem to go along with that. So you got AirPods, MacBook, a HomePod, etc., etc., etc. You know the Apple ecosystem, and the Pixel 3 just doesn't match up to that at the moment. Google's actually trying to make an ecosystem of their own, but it's not really working out so well. We'll talk about that tomorrow, but if you dislike this video, please let me know in the comment section below where you disagree with me. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you tomorrow for the latest and greatest.